So today we're down at HIVE365 in Wilmslow Cheshire, where I'll be meeting with one of the co-founders here called Ben, and we'll be hearing all about his journey on how he started the business and how it's evolved over the past 18 months. So do you want to tell us a little bit about Hive, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down. Hive we're co-working and private office space.
Okay.
Based in Handforth, about 5 minutes from Manchester Airport, a few miles outside of Wilmslow. And yeah, so we opened last year, 13 private offices and a large open plan co-working hot desk area and a few meeting rooms really. So yeah, great to have you here.
Perfect. And what would you say that Hive is best known for?
I try not to get that.
Multitasking.
Oh, too saucy. What's Hive best known for? I think when we opened, we tried to really become part of the local business community, to really provide a space for entrepreneurs and small businesses within the South Manchester Airport area, to have a space where they can come work, network, meet like-minded owners, business owners and entrepreneurs. And I think we've provided that. We run a monthly networking event that's really well attended.
Awesome.
And we have some fantastic businesses who come and run their events here. We have a large 10-person conference room, a smaller 4-person meeting room, all fitted out to the hilt with ready for your video conferencing meetings. And then we've actually even got, it's hidden away on the rooftop, a gym and golf simulator.
Really? Wow.
So it's a fantastic place for people to come along, network, clients, engage with businesses. And I think that's been a real success of ours is how we've engaged that network.
Brilliant. And what inspired you to start the project?
So we bought the building a few years ago, and I think we were looking for, okay, what does Handforth need? What's the area need? Is it something that we can add to it? I think it's definitely having a lot of investment and really up and coming as an area. So we were and obviously with the rise of co-working and private office spaces and that the change, I think, in the last few years in terms of where people want to work and how they want to work.
Yeah. The landscape has changed.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it was what can we offer there? I think there's a real demand now for slightly higher end, more luxury work environments that people actually, they want to work in a really nice environment.
100%.
And so I think we were really keen on making that environment, making here be, have that premium feel to it.
Awesome.
Which has been one of our challenges.
Yeah.
And, not the lie, it's, achieving a premium feel in today's economy with rising prices and building work taking longer and all that kind of stuff. But I think we got there. I think hopefully you'll agree. You're in the pool to say
100%. I imagine many a deal is made.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a little pool leaderboard and everything that goes on here within the members and network. So yeah,
amazing. And in the process of opening up Hive, and Ben, what surprised you the most with the project?
In terms of surprises, I think there's a couple of things really. One, building work and the projects that come along. I think any building project has a potential for something to crop up and go, actually, you need to think about this and do this. And costs got soared in terms of material costs and availability of materials in recent years, which really, pinches that budget a little bit. So we had to really be smart with what we invested in and how we did it. And within that, and I think we had to be really clever with our marketing to get people in and coming to see the space at the right time in the right moment. And that was, we did really well with that, I think, if I reflect on it. We're a year post-opening now.
Wow, okay.
Pretty much all our offices have now got tenants in them.
Awesome.
We're getting people in as soon as we could to see the space and get them engaged with it and try and get many people engaging with and using the building as possible, really.
Yeah. And what challenges did you face when you were setting it up?
So I think apart from I mentioned some the costs and the challenge there in terms of controlling costs and what we do with it. But I think one of the biggest things, how do we market it correctly?
Yeah.
What is it? I've been a really exciting journey for us over the last 18 months to work out what works.
Amazing.
In terms of is it Facebook advertising? Is it Google ads? Is it your SEO stuff? Is it local community events? And really understanding where people heard about us from and how they engaged with us. And we became very, very data driven in our decision making of where do we invest our marketing budget in?
Yeah.
And that's been really beneficial to us. That learning over the last 18 months, that I think we now know that sweet spot. We know how people are hearing about us and engaging with us, and that's only through trial and error and learning through that to get to this point. But that's been a real challenge, but also a real success, I would say, once we've acknowledged and learned that.
And would you say that the challenges now that you face, being 18 months into the project, are different to when you first started?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how are they different?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of the challenges at the beginning were okay, let's get the project across the line, let's get it open, working, let's get to that financial stability point. You're empty at the beginning. And whereas now I think we're in the point of how can we get the most engagement out of the space? How can you provide additional benefits to members? How can we get more people using it more often? Now most of the offices are filled. How can we get more hot desk members? How can we do more events and more networking? How can we really drive that and keep people coming back and ensuring they have
energy in the
and that they have a really good experience when they're here, that they want to come back.
100%.
And I think that's really important.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, especially in a co-working space. Yeah. So what advice would you give to other people who perhaps are in the shoes that you once were? Maybe they're thinking about opening up their own project, if they're an aspiring entrepreneur. What advice would you give to them when launching a new business?
So I think, number one, you personally have to have a vision of what you believe it is. As a director of that business, which is what you are, even if you're an entrepreneur, you're a sole trader, and you've got to know what you want to do, what your vision is. So I think you've got to have that really clear, and you've got to have a plan to get there.
Yeah.
So if it's opening a building, it's okay, what do I need to do? What infrastructure, what kit, how am I getting there? If it's a service or a product, what does that look like? How am I going to market it? What's it going to be? And I think you don't be afraid of doing things a little bit sooner than
I love that.
You maybe feel comfortable with, go out with your product, put a first initial idea out there, throw that website up, open your doors a little bit sooner than what you thought you were ready to.
Yeah.
Because actually that gets you engagement, and that initial bit of feedback that you'll get from those first customers will help actually steer your product or your
and
service.
refine that product or service even more.
Absolutely. Yeah. So taking that, don't be afraid to go a little bit earlier and just do it. Most people don't start businesses because they're too afraid to take that first step, but hey, what's the worst that can happen? So, go for it would be a bit of my advice. So we crack on and finish this. I think you might beat me here. I'm terrible at sport. Just to warn you.
Let's do it.